Brothers and sisters in Christ, good morning. Let me be quick to thank the leadership of Ascension Lutheran Church and brothers and sisters here, and of course my brother Victor and your family for welcoming me to this beautiful church and your families, and also nice city. Thank you very much. And I bring greetings from Rwanda. And I also want to express that Rwandans, especially friends of mine who know that I'm here, they also send greetings to you, and also a message from the bishop. He sends greetings. Thank you. So, where should I begin? Knowing that I come from the country that lost prophetic message almost 20 years ago, as we commemorate 20 years of the genocide in Rwanda. Coming back from the background of exile, I was born in Tanzania, grew up there, and had an opportunity that never happens to many refugees. Went to school and had a scholarship actually from the Lutheran World Federation. And then immediately, as Professor Victor introduced with a generous introduction, I happened to complete my seminary studies in Kenya when the genocide was happening in Rwanda. And I remember it was 6th of June, Thursday night at 8:30, when I had the radio in Rwanda saying that, you know, hunt your enemies, they are near to you. And I was wondering, how can the government kill its own people? And immediately there was exodus of refugees from Rwanda to Tanzania. And I was assigned by the bishops to help these refugees for relief and provide logistics and interpret English to Kinyarwanda to help all these refugees who needed help. And I could see bishops, ministers of the government, everyone, you know, becoming refugees. No water, no house, no everything. And I realized we lost really prophetic message. I was born in exile. I see another contingent of refugees. I sensed lack of prophetic message, lack of accountability at all levels. Can you hear me? Please, if you don't hear me, just put up your hand. I'm happy to communicate. Thank you. So I realized I was really in a crisis, how to apply theology in time of crisis. I was challenged. I was really challenged. And so it happened that the bishops at that time, one of them asked me to accompany a person who was coming from Archbishop of Canterbury in the UK to go to Rwanda to assess the relief program. So I went there, and that was my first time to go to Rwanda. And I saw dead bodies on highways, on the hills. Only dogs were eating their own masters, completely. And then when I went to the capital, it was my first time to meet public officials at all levels. And this person was talking to the bishops and Prime Minister and Vice President and Minister of Defense. So I was behind him because I didn't know what I was doing. But I was just watching that poor guy from refugee camp, listening to these people saying, we don't want to make another factor of refugees. We want all refugees to come back. That was the message I had. That was the message I had because I was born a refugee. I don't want to be a refugee, and I don't want to see other people becoming refugees. So when I went back to Tanzania, what I did, when my bishop was in Europe, I took the car, double cabin. I don't know those who know double cabin car. And I was talking to these young kids, who were living with me. They were children of refugees. And I told the whole story about, going through one and what I saw. And they went back to tell their parents in the refugee camp that, John was in Rwanda, and even though he saw dead bodies, but the country is calm, so we can go back. And kids, they are bridges of people, And so what their parents had, they came to me, they said, can we go back really to Rwanda? I said, I think so. And they said, we don't want to die in refugee camps. We want to go back home. I said, okay, let us try. And I took that car, double cabin. We went to the border, they crossed, and they went and they started to their own homes. So they whistled, they told others, and so they were actually ready to volunteer their life to go back. But actually, it led other refugees to go back because of personal initiative without including diplomatic missions. Sometimes diplomatic mission can cause problems. But the point I want to make is that when they went back home, these are the people who helped us to start the Lutheran church, because I grew up Lutheran. I didn't know that there are other Lutherans all over the world like you guys. And it helped me to reshape my way of thinking, to build again broken faith, I can tell you, because I didn't know how to rebuild my faith. So, knowing that the refugee camps where many people were killed, and helping people to resettle after the genocide in Rwanda, those scars, they are really scaring you. But we saw fresh bodies in 1994 where 1 million, almost 0.5, were killed in 90 days, just a time frame of 90 days. Many people were killed. Some of you might have been in Rwanda, but it was terrible, 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 terrible. Imagine a government hunting its own people. You have government machineries. It was easy to sweep people because we speak the same language, we live in the same culture. The government had already provided the identity card, so it was easy to get to know who is who, even though we have the same color, we have the same language. It was easy to hunt the people. And so, when I was analyzing this after the war, I realized that we really needed to rebuild our broken faith, rebuild our families. And that's where the Lutheran Church faced challenges. We were like actually Nehemiah in the midst of crisis when he was trying to rebuild the wall in Jerusalem. That's why I was trying to reconnect this. And Nehemiah realizing that they lost prophetic message, and he was very smart to sit down and pray. Pray, pray, pray. And he scrutinized the issue, and he also discussed the issue of rebuilding Jerusalem walls and took action. So, after this war, we went back home and started to reorganize, to rethink how to rebuild our faith. And normally it's hard to move from service to empowerment. So, because we have been given relief.